Polish Army, Armija Krajowa, their crimes against Ukrainians. Polish propaganda attempts to paint Ukrainians as animals who killed Poles in 1943 through 1944. Why is this being done? The issue is that the Polish government, along with the Polish military, wants to cover up their own crimes committed against Ukrainians. Poles committed these crimes during the 20-year interwar period, 1919 to 1939, while Ukraine was part of Poland, a result of the League of Nations decision. They continued to commit these crimes during World War II, and even after the war up until 1949 in the Zakrzon region. The Polish government did not allow Ukrainians in western Ukraine to freely farm their own land. It strangled the population with burdensome taxes, high rents, unfavorable loan terms, and prevented them from acquiring their own land. Ukrainians were not allowed to study in their own language in schools on their ancestral lands, even though they were the majority. Ukrainians were not allowed to freely practice their own religion. In 1938, in Kholmshchina alone, Poles destroyed almost 180 Ukrainian churches. Under Polish control, Ukrainians were not allowed to hold any government positions. Government positions were filled by Poles from central Poland, who neither spoke Ukrainian nor understood Ukrainian traditions. In March of 1939, the time had come for the League of Nations to review the question of a free and independent Western Ukraine, releasing it from Polish oppression. However, the war had begun, and Hitler and Stalin prevented the formation of an independent Ukraine. The Polish government in exile gave orders to the Armija Krajowa, which operated in German-occupied western Ukraine, to constantly demonstrate their presence, to oppose the right of Ukrainians to build their own independent nation, to destroy any independent Ukrainian military formations in the region, and if necessary to destroy any peaceful Ukrainian villages, bases of support for the Ukrainian insurgent army, UPA. The victims of those barbarous acts in 1943-1944 became thousands of defenseless Ukrainian men, women, and children. In 1944, Polish peasant battalions distinguished themselves as being extremely barbaric against Ukrainians in Zakrzon. They conducted ethnic cleansing operations by completely destroying and burning entire Ukrainian villages together with their inhabitants. In 1945, at the Potsdam Conference of the Allied Heads of State, Stalin traded Ukrainian ethnic lands in Zakrzon to Poland in exchange for its open port on the Baltic Sea, now Kaliningrad. As a result, Poland had complete freedom to do as it wished with Ukrainians in Kholmshchina and Natsianya. Poland viewed these Ukrainians as potential rebels, and their crowning action was Operation Wisla in 1947, when over 150,000 Ukrainians were forcibly removed from their villages by the Polish army as ethnic cleansing continued. In 1947 to 1949, Poland operated the concentration camp known as Jaworzno, through which were filtered those individuals captured during Operation Wisla, whom they suspected of supporting the Ukrainian insurgent army, UPA. Through this infamous concentration camp passed over 4,000 individuals, including nearly 1,000 women and children, 25 priests, and at least 168 who died there. Operation Wisla was a horrific crime, one in which the Polish government sadistically abused thousands of their own citizens of Ukrainian descent. The historical lesson from all of this is that the Polish soldiers were great warriors against an unarmed, peaceful Ukrainian population, but against a real army, they were cowards, as shown by their actions in September of 1939, when Germany invaded Poland and they surrendered en masse.